representing the 10 Ward Mob Squad.
What up, party people? Welcome back to another episode of Hood Talk. Let's get it. Today's news in the hood, I will be speaking on Islam and Christianity. Get your popcorns ready. It's gonna be a good one, y'all. Again, this is gonna be a good one. Like I said, and this is here is near dear to my heart. This episode and this topic that I will be speaking on today. Reason being is that I have two sons, one 24 and the other one is 5. I'm sorry, I'm saying I said 5 because he's my oldest one, about to be 25. Well, yeah, that let me know I'm getting old. And my other boy is 17, and they're at a point in their life where they're trying to find themselves, right? Just like I was, and a lot of more male men at that age as well. And, I often preach that, man, from the ages of 11 and 12 to 19, 20, 21, young men need guidance, and they need guidance at a high volume, right? So, it's hard for a female, a woman, to attempt to try to raise a young man because she doesn't know how to be a man. She doesn't know the rules. She doesn't know the regulations. She doesn't know anything about a man besides seeing one and having slept with one, right? Or being in a relationship with one. So that's the big difference between a man and a woman. We understand how hard it is out here for a man. We understand that men have to protect, right? And men knowing that they have to protect and knowing how hard it is to do that and be an alpha male at the same time, we understand that more than anyone else in this world besides the good Lord, right? So with that being said, my boys, I try to teach them discipline, and one thing I can say about jail, prison, wherever, I'll be honest, it's much needed for young men, right? And the reason why I say that is because jail teaches you a great deal of discipline. You understand what I'm saying? And young men need that. A young man can go to jail having not been and learned anything about life. And when he went to jail, right, for one reason or another, he learned. He learned values. He learned character. He developed character. He learned integrity. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we need. That makes us a better man. He learned humanity. It teaches you how to hold yourself accountable. It teaches you accountability for that matter, right? And like I said, man, it's a great deal of understanding and respect and, overall that men need. It's really vital to our well-being that we utilize those characters and traits in our livelihood, right? And as a man, it's our job to teach that to our children. So, like I say, man, whatever higher power that you chose to believe in, at the end of the day, it's only one. And each and every last preacher, bishop, disciple, whoever and whatever, they all follow a certain guidelines and curriculum and philosophy of that religion that they're studying in, right? They all just are messengers. To simplify that. So, and their job is just to get the message across the world and through the world and to the world. And hope that someone or some people grasp it and understand it. So sit back and enjoy the episode.
So this is where it starts for us.
Most days, Rami Nassour heads to the post office to check his mailbox.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Inside, a stack of letters from all over the country.
There's Texas,
Ohio, Florida, Colorado. So
US,
all of these are from prison.
They're all from prison.
Nassour is the founding director of the Taiba Foundation, the first organization in the U.S. to offer a distance learning program in Islamic education to prisoners.
How big is the need of Muslim prison inmates seeking out Islamic education?
Oh, it's huge. When we started about 15 years ago, that was the main need that we heard from Muslim prisoners. And so we developed this organization to fill that gap and that need.
That's because Islam is the fastest growing religion in U.S. prisons, and reports estimate tens of thousands of mostly men convert each year.
We've served over 13,000 individuals. By our numbers, 90% of them have converted to Islam, most of them in prison.
What do you think it is about Islam that really resonates with people who are confined and locked up inside of a facility like a prison?
What I think resonates is that there's so much confinement, and then finally finding that Islam is the one that gives them that freedom, because it has a level of submission. So you submit to a certain regiment. There's 5 daily prayers. There's a method. They see that those walls can't confine them anymore.
That is part of what attracted Muhammad Amin Anderson to the faith.
How has Islam changed your life?
When I came to prison, I didn't have my humanity. I'd say it like that. But after entering prison, I've recovered my humanity.
Born Christopher Anderson in Philadelphia, he was the son of a preacher. But as a teen, he answered the call of the streets.
I actually fell into a drug addiction for about a year and a half. And I got involved with a group of guys, and they were selling drugs in our city.
In his early 20s, Anderson participated in a gang-related murder. He was sentenced to more than 30 years in prison.
How soon into your incarceration did you find Islam?
Maybe a year or two I was in, I think.
Why Islam and not further into Christianity or Judaism or another faith?
And I spent my years in prison learning about other faiths. So I knew a lot about them, and it was like Islam was the only one that made sense for me.
Was there a particular aspect of it that really resonated with you?
For me, the spirituality. It offered me that sense of guidance, direction.
As his faith grew deeper, Anderson became connected with Nassour and the Taiba Foundation.
This call is from a correctional facility and may be monitored and recorded.
You were teaching him
Yes.
by phone.
There's only so much that you can do with self-learning. So I started taking his phone calls, started sending him material, answering his questions, and really taught him over the course of about 17 years, to the point that then he was able to teach in the prisons.
But yet, there are still widespread misconceptions about why people are converting to Islam in prison.
There may be a perception that those people are becoming radicalized. What do you make of that theory?
It's just not the case. The numbers don't show that. Does it exist? Yes. But it's a rare instance. In the same way, are there people who are Christian extremists, who are radicalized in prison, who might go on to do a terrorism act? Yes.
According to the National Institute of Corrections, violence due to prison radicalization by Muslims in the U.S. is a rare event, and there's little to no evidence it's happening. In fact, Nassour says many converts are attracted to the faith by observing how Muslim prisoners carry themselves.
They'll notice that that person's different. He's not falling into the same ruts of how other people might behave in prison. And so they ask them, and then he'll say, well, it's my Islam, and my Islam teaches me about my character.
Anderson was released from prison in July after serving his full sentence. At his parole hearing, he says the chairman called him an exceptional inmate.
What role do you think your faith in Islam played in you being portrayed that way?
It played every part, every aspect of my life.
But now, outside of prison walls, he says his work is just beginning.
I see you becoming emotional.
Yes. Yes.
What is it that's filling you with this emotion?
Because to be able to know where I came from, the person I was, the selfish person I was, the lives I ruined, the people I harmed, and now to be able to give a second chance. But I believe God gave me a second chance to come out here to serve humanity, because the person life I took, he doesn't have a second chance. So I think I owe it to him. I owe it to his family. I owe it to his children to do something with my life.
What would little Christopher Anderson think about Muhammad Amin?
He would think Now you got it. Now you got it.
What did you get?
What it means to live. What it means to live.
Anderson now has a job with the Taba Foundation and is enjoying a quiet, prayerful life.
Yeah. I hope you all enjoyed the episode. And until next time, get in that comment section. People, leave a comment on the topic. Hit that subscribe button if you already haven't. Hit that notification bell so you can be alerted when I upload more videos. If you know someone that's struggling with mental health, mental illness, do not be afraid to offer them your assistance. Doing a good deed is very, very necessary. We're not the talk. We're Hood Talk. Superfly Entertainment.
STP.